Be careful out there tonight. We'll check back in a little bit later. Let's put up our Fort Worth tower cam. I'm seeing some lightning strikes there in Fort Worth. Also our Weatherford tower cam. I'm seeing some lightning strikes as well. So about where they are right now in that car, they are, there we are. They're almost due south of downtown Fort Worth, or close to that. But I am seeing, and this is pointed toward the city of Dallas, pointed off to the east. So we are seeing some rain that's falling in downtown Fort Worth. I mean, nothing severe in Fort Worth right now, but remember, Tarrant County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, along with Johnson County and Hill County, under a severe thunderstorm warning for about the next 30 minutes or so. Let's go to one of our TxDOT cameras right now, and that's at 35W Northside Drive. A lot of lightning there. Traffic's moving along, kind of like where it is with Adriana. And but you know, lightning, heavy rain, moderate rain. That's not really heavy, but that's certainly some light to moderate rain that's falling there right now. A lot of water flying up on the road as the vehicles drive past. But that's what's taking place. And this is, as Adriana pointed out, this is all going to be moving. It's moving toward Dallas County. It's moving toward Collin County. So it won't be long before it arrives there. Let's go back to that camera, if we can, the Fort Worth camera, and there's our Weatherford camera. I think you guys are moving that around just a little bit. What direction is that pointed now, Jason? Okay, kind of hard to see. Just the visibility is pretty rough there with the heavy rain that's falling. Northwest winds at 12 there in Weatherford. There's our Fort Worth camera. So, and here's the thing that I want everyone to remember, just a good reminder. We're in a drought. I mean, low-end drought for most of North Texas, but some areas to the west of Fort Worth that's picked up some heavy rain in a moderate drought. So, you know, this is certainly good news. Another thing to keep in mind is October, on average, is our second wettest month of the year. So it's odd that we didn't have rain the first 3 weeks, but it's great news that we're seeing rain right now. It's also great news that we don't have any damage reports. So no damage reports at this point, and that is certainly good news as well. But just some beneficial rain that's falling in these locations. Let's go to our Denton camera. I see the Denton camera is really starting to light up right now with lots of lightning. Of course, I'm sure we'll go there and the lightning will stop, but Denton County is starting to see some lightning. I'm seeing lightning at Love Field as well. There's some, boy, that's pretty good lightning right there.
Sweet. Wow.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good lightning right there. You know, we had zero severe weather last night as that cluster of thunderstorms rolled through. But we did have a number of lightning. I mean, we had a lot of lightning last night. We didn't have any severe weather, but we did have a lot of lightning. And I think there were 7 or 8 fires that were started by lightning. So some homes were damaged last night across the area, but 74 right now up at UNT. And as we move that off a little bit more, that's pointed to the south. There's 35 over there. We'll end up pointing it off to the west, kind of rotating off to the west now, pointing toward Fort Worth and those thunderstorms. And then one of the other cameras we might be able to put up, that Weatherford camera is really lighting up again. I think that's pointed right there. That Denton camera is pointed off to the southwest, if I'm not mistaken. So quite a bit of lightning just a moment ago on that camera. Weatherford is showing quite a bit of lightning. We're also seeing some lightning occasionally on our Cedar Hill camera. So that's south of downtown Dallas. And Jesse, are you getting any? Yep, there's a Cedar Hill camera. Nice and dark down at Cedar Hill right now. I forget this camera, I think it's up on our tower at Cedar Hill. I think it's about 600 feet above sea level, if I'm not mistaken. But Jesse, any reports that you have right now of any damage or
No.
nothing?
No reports. No, I don't think my mic's on, but no, there it is. No reports. You know, I'm over here watching chat like a hawk on my phone over here, and
Nothing on X?
No, nothing on X.
Okay.
I'm checking through X and Facebook messages as well, and posts, and not yet. We'll continue to watch it, of course. Now that it's getting into a more populated area, perhaps. You know, perhaps we'll get a report or two, but the line itself is pretty tame so far. Hopefully
Yep.
it stays that way. I mean, a couple little bursts of wind near Benbrook, maybe 60. But overall, fairly, especially the north side of that, man, that's just a lot of heavy rain up toward Decatur to Denton. None of that has really any wind with it, just a lot of
We can go back to that radar. Let's show that radar one more time. You know, I'd kind of, let me walk through the forecast too after we take a look at the radar, show you what's happening. I know Jason is going to get that up. Let me go get a drink of water here for just a second. And as Jason loads, the system is running at slow speeds tonight. I know, Jesse, you and I experienced that earlier tonight.
Yeah, during the 5 and 6 o'clock news, trying to load stuff up, it takes thinking. Took a very long time to load up. There it is.
It did take a long time. There we go. We have it loaded up now. It's moving.
So, you know, I was looking at, you know, you see where those severe thunderstorm warnings are. I'll let you take a drink. Oh, you're already over at the wall. You're quick.
Fast,
You're
like
very
a cat.
quick. You are.
So here's the leading edge right there. So that's where they're issuing all of that. But we're not, I mean, I'm not seeing anything. Remember, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Tarrant and Hill counties and Johnson County, and that goes until 9:30. But I mean, I am getting, this is great. We're getting the rain. We have a lot of lightning. But man, I'm not, there have been 0 reports of damage. I mean, and the strongest winds I've seen with this was the one out in Mineral Wells of 48 miles an hour. So that's certainly good news.
I was just talking to Jason about the drought map. I know that you were talking, we need the rain. Seriously, you know, we were running such a huge deficit starting in the fall. You know, we were several inches below normal. There's the drought map. So this is actually very helpful. Look at, in fact, the last drought monitor that came out yesterday put parts of Johnson County and Hill County in severe drought.
That's severe. That was not there last week.
Yeah, and that moderate drought, Pete, got pretty broad there.
This expanded.
Yeah.
This expanded. This got a little bit bigger. Do you see the guy's head there?
Look at that. Nice hair, too.
But that got a little bit bigger. This expanded. I mean, all of this expanded out here.
Yeah,
so this was not here. This is all moderate drought. Some moderate drought over here. Look at this. Moderate drought over here in Louisiana, East Texas. With moderate drought.
And you know,
yeah, that expanded. Now go back, Jason. Can you go back to the radar? Go to the DMA radar, if you will. That DMA map radar. Let people see.
It's good.
Man, look at that. Look at all the lightning. That's crazy.
It's a lot.
That is a lot of lightning. I mean, right now, Jesse, as I look at this, certainly we have 1,500 strikes the last 15 minutes. The biggest concern right now, I mean, obviously we have the severe thunderstorm warnings, but I think it even bigger concerns the lightning. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that's a tremendous amount of lightning.
Because I'm not seeing anything to indicate 60-mile-an-hour winds.
No. You know, there, like we said, you know, maybe a pocket here or there, especially like in southwestern Tarrant. But outside of that, it's a lot of lightning. The other concern, you know, it's Friday night. A lot of people are going to be out and about enjoying themselves in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and all that lightning coming in. And like you showed earlier, in fact, there was another one of those out of the blue strikes. Look in Van Zant County, northwestern Van Zant. That's a different one, isn't it? Wait for it. Or is that the same one from earlier? I think that's a. No. Anyway,
that's the same one.
No, sorry about that.
The one northwest of Canton.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, you know, all these thunderstorms moving in, lightning obviously a big concern, and you know, when we do these school talks, we always tell the kids when thunder roars, head indoors, and I just, you know, hope people take that seriously because lightning is dangerous, and there's a ton of it moving into the Metroplex now. So, you know, on top of the heavy rain, we'll still have that flash flood threat if these can linger in some spots, which we're seeing north of the Metroplex into Cook County. But you know, at least it is moving along. So that, you know, we were talking earlier during the 4, 5, and 6 how this has sped up, and that's good for the flash flood threat. The other thing is now that it's becoming more congealed, it's mainly just a wind threat that'll sweep through, and still no reports at this time, but we're keeping an eye on it.
Let's put a track on that line, Jason. Kind of track it from. Let's do it in segments, okay? Let's do this part first. Let's do Denton County, move it off to the east because the whole line is moving east at 30. Let's do Denton County, then we'll do Tarrant, then we'll do Johnson County. Let's kind of do all of these areas just so we can see Yeah. So there we are. So it's 8:50 right now. So it'll be in Denton at 9 o'clock. I'm just kind of checking maps and times here. Denton at 9 o'clock, 9:02. Flower Mound 9:08. Aubrey 9:13. Louisville 9:17. Little Elm 9:23. The Colony 9:28. Frisco 9:34. Cannon. I've never been to Cannon. 9:41. Plano 9:45. 9:45 in McKinney, 9:52, Melissa, 9:55, Wiley, 10:04, and Princeton at 10:06. So I am seeing a report, but we'll shift this down to the south. Let's do the Tarrant County one. I am seeing a report right now, Jesse, right on I-30 on the Parker-Tarrant County line. A storm chaser is there, and they have recorded a wind speed of 51 miles an hour.
Okay, 51.
So that, which is not severe.
And there you said Parker and Tarrant. I missed
right
that.
on I-30 on the Parker-Tarrant County line. So not severe, but 50 miles an hour. You get a 50-mile-an-hour wind at your house, and
sure,
well, that'll catch your attention.
Yeah.
So this line of storms, it's in Saginaw now. Fort Worth at 8:58. So that's 7 minutes from now. Kennedale 9:07. Southlake 9:13. Bedford 9:16. DFW 9:23. Irving 9:32. Carrollton 9:37. Addison 9:43, Dallas 9:51,
really close to the
Lancaster 9:55, Garland 10:03, Balk Springs 10:08, Mesquite 10:11, and Rockwall at 10:20. So we're back to that 10:15 time that it's out of Dallas County. So if it's in Rockwall at 10:20, that means it will have exited Dallas County and Collin County by about 10 o'clock, 10:15 or so. So I'm just trying to give you a reference point. When's it going to be out of the Metroplex? 10:15? If it's in Rockwall at 10:20, be out of the Metroplex by 10:30. Be out of Rockwall at 10:30. So by 10:30, it's out of the Metroplex, and that's great. That is great indeed. Let's move down to the south. Let's take a look at that one down in Johnson County and let folks see. Well, heck, it's halfway across Johnson right now. Be in Waxahachie in about an hour or less. Okay, so there we go. We'll put a track on that down to Rio Vista. Let's track this and we'll go back to Adriana. Burleson, 8:55. Jesse, have you been to Happy Hill? 9:03.
I have not been to Happy Hill.
Alvarado.
I'd like to visit sometime though.
Alvarado, 9:07. Midlothian, home of Jason Joseph at 9:27. Venus, 9:18. Maypearl 9:31, Ovilla 9:37, Waxahachie 9:43, Italy 9:45, Avalon 9:54, Ferris 9:59, Garrett 10:04, Ennis at 10:09, and Alma at 10:17. So that's the latest. Adriana de Alba, you are out with Josh Stephen. Give us an update. Tell us where. Well, there you are.
Oh, look at that.
There's the rain.
Yep, I've got an update for you. So different story now. We are in the thick of it, Pete. We're on I-20 South. We're in Benbrook, and we are taking it slow because it's hard to see what's in front of us. What we've seen is some cars taking it really slow. They have their hazards on, which is good. It helps us know what we're driving into. But I mean, I don't think that picture does it justice, Pete. This is some heavy, heavy rainfall. So, and this is headed east to you folks in Dallas, everybody north of that. This will be a very, very heavy rainfall for you. I know that everybody has been saying we need the rain. Yes, we need the rain. We don't want the hail, the tornadoes, all of that other stuff that comes with it, right? So far we've not heard any reports of damage. You can see this truck off to our left. They have their hazards on. They're taking it slow. This other guy, not so much. But we're taking our time. We're staying off to the right, and we're taking it slow because this is a pretty heavy rainfall. You can see that the other side of the highway is slowing down quite a bit. Big semis there just taking their time, which is good. We don't want to cover any major accidents tonight. We want people to be safe and take it easy. We also are feeling quite a bit of ponding underneath us, just hitting some rough spots where a lot of water has really accumulated quickly here. So like I said, different story now. We are in the thick of it. We're in Benbrook, and we'll keep monitoring this and looking out for any potential areas that are seeing some flooding. But we'll go ahead and send it back to you.
Well, Adriana, thanks for the update. I did get an update just a few moments ago, not too far away from you, and you're on I-20, right?
We're on I-20 South, yes.
Okay. So just north of you on I-30 at the Parker-Tarrant County line, there was a report of a 51-mile-an-hour wind gust. And I'm now getting with no hail. So that's good news. And I now have a report that's not too far away from you in Tarrant County at McPherson and Chisholm Trail.
Still on.
A 50-mile-an-hour wind speed was measured there. So, but no hail at that location either. So these thunderstorms apparently aren't producing any hail, which is great news. And the wind reports that we've had are all below severe limits. But as I mentioned to Jesse a little while ago, 50-mile-an-hour wind will certainly get your attention. I think her and Josh are.
He's going way too fast. Yeah. So yeah, I'm talking with my photographer. I'm sorry, Pete.
It's okay.
So we're trying to take it easy because we just had a situation here on I-20 South where a semi was going pretty fast, 18-wheeler. I don't think they could see what was in front of them, and
westbound traffic completely stopped.
almost rammed into us. So we're just trying to take it slow. We're trying to be careful. The other side of the highway is completely stopped right now.
Yeah, I
So
see
that
a lot.
gives you
I
an
see.
indication of
see
just
they have their
how heavy
flashers
this
on.
is.
Wow, it's coming.
They do. It's just like I've
coming
been saying,
down.
the visibility is so.
Tell them it's an 8-inch rainfall rate.
Yeah, we're my photographer Josh Stephen is saying it's 8-inch rainfall rate.
That's heavy rain.
So I'm not sure how you measure that in house, but I mean it is heavy. It's heavy. We're struggling out here, but we're taking it slow because safety is first, and we can't really see what's in front of us. So.
Well, I know Josh is going slowly. Talk to me about the winds. Do you feel any wind kind of pushing the car around?
We feel that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we feel the wind. We can hear it. I mean, it's howling. And again, another 18-wheeler coming off to our right here, if you can see. It's a little jarring when they're traveling pretty quickly, and we're trying to take it slow. And then I mentioned the ponding. So if you're driving fast and you have ponding, I'm worried about hydroplaning right now, and I really hope that people are safe out here. I think that as soon as we can get off this highway, we will, because like I said, it's coming down really hard. Visibility is an issue. The other side of 820 is not looking good right now. It's pretty much coming to a stop just north of where we are. So.
Okay.
Heavy rainfall. Everyone in Dallas should be ready for this to come through.
Yes.
And by the way, we're at Benbrook and Chisholm Trail right now.
Oh, okay.
On
Okay.
I-20.
I know exactly where you are. And there's some
Kind of
gusty.
headed towards Hewlin Mall.
Okay. And there's some gusty winds in that area too, that we're watching right now. So that was why I was asking about the winds, if it's kind of buffeting the car around to a certain degree. It's kind of hard for me to tell. I see some of the water. It looks like it's kind of blowing there on the side of the road, or blowing from the left to the right. But definitely some heavy rains, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. We can feel this thing shaking the truck, and it's a pretty heavy truck, and it feels like we're getting tossed around a little bit right now. I would say right now, maybe 3 minutes ago, when we were in the thick of it, it felt a lot worse. It's a little bit better right now.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Hewlin Mall, because there's a spot in the Hewlin area that always floods. So we're going to go check that out. But you saw what it looked like back there. It's getting really slow. I think with this kind of situation, the concern is always those 18-wheelers on the road, because they can't react as quickly. And so for those of us that are on the roads in a regular vehicle, just kind of be mindful about the bigger 18-wheelers. They do need more time. Just take it slow, put your hazards on. Don't be out in this if you don't have to. That's why we're out here, so that you all can sit at home and be safe. And we're doing our best to be safe. We're getting ready to pull over here and check out the Hewlin area where we're going to check back and see if some flooding has happened there, because now that this is moving through pretty heavily, we want to check in and see if any areas have flooded.
Well, that sounds good. Will you guys be careful? We'll check in with you a little bit later. I'm just now, Jesse, getting a report in Tarrant County, not too far from where Josh and Adriana are, at Sycamore School and South Hewlin, in that area there, of a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust. So certainly some strong winds. They're not severe winds, but certainly some strong winds in those locations. So let's go back to the radar if we can. I'll kind of give everyone an update on what's taking place. So she's down in this area over here, I believe. So here's Benbrook. So she's down in that location there with Josh. So they've kind of driven through the heart of the heaviest stuff at this point. So let's widen out. Jason, show me a Metroplex map, if you will. Hill, Johnson, and Tarrant, severe thunderstorm warnings until 9:30. Until 9:30. I'll be really surprised if they don't issue one for Dallas County. But Jason, let's put a track. I just want to see what time it arrives in Dallas and then points off to the east. Forward speed 35 miles an hour-ish, kind of right there in that ballpark. I know these things speed up and slow down, but we're moving a little farther off to the east, Jason. Can you do that? Redo that? There we go. Great. So Keller, it's 9:02 right now. Keller, you'll have thunderstorms. Man, I mean, I wish I could. Is there any way, guys, that I can put, we have the cameras. Is there any way we can put all these cameras on, this screen that we have? Can you guys do that up in the control room? It's one of the channels that's routed into the weather center, and I've got I have 16 cameras up. Any way you guys can put that up on the television set here for me? Starting to pour here in downtown Dallas. Some rain out at DBU. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of lightning at UNT, at Love Field, Fort Worth right now. Anyway, I know you guys will work on that. My man Dion. Has to be done through the Weather Center. Do you have that source, Jason? You don't. We don't have that source. Okay. Logan, if you would work on that, thank you. Mansfield, 9:16 right now. That's your arrival time in Mansfield. Now, this is the leading edge. Now, you have some rain out in front of it, but the heavy stuff arrives in Mansfield at 9:16, Arlington 9:19, DFW 9:28, Irving 9:34, Addison 9:47, Dallas at 9:51. So that timing for the city of Dallas has stayed pretty darn consistent all night. Balk Springs 10:06, Garland 10:08, Wiley 10:15, Rockwall 10:24, Royce City 10:37, Terrell 10:41, Abner 10:48, and Quinlan at 10:58. Do we have Rockwall's 10:24? So once again, all of this activity should be east of the Metroplex by about 10:30. Okay, Metroplex should be in the clear. Still some rain in the Metroplex, but the severe threat will be. It's weakening right now. I've given you, Jesse, would you agree with that? I mean, I've given a number of reports, wind reports, by trained observers that are out in the field, and they're all telling me that the winds are around 50 miles an hour. So the clear, to me, these thunderstorms are weakening. They still have strong winds. They're not severe winds, but they certainly have strong winds. But do you, Jesse, what are your thoughts on the wind speeds? And I see a report right now from another one of our chasers who says they're seeing no reports of any tornado touching down in Parker County or anywhere else tonight. So that's certainly good news. But what do you think of the wind speeds, Jesse? It seems like they're coming down with these thunderstorms.
Yeah, looking at the line overall, the intensity has come down along most of the line. The only very small section where there's a little burst of wind is kind of on the kind of on the south side of Fort Worth. That's maybe where we're looking at some 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. That right there is about the only spot. But the line as a whole is really starting to come down, especially, you know, I'm back here looking at radar, especially that southern part of the line that was warned for Johnson and Hill County. That part of that section of the thunderstorm line has really come down in intensity. The only one little segment where there could be some little bursts of wind of maybe 50 to 60, that's going to be south of downtown Fort Worth, right along I-35W and near 287. So essentially in between, if you were to draw a triangle, if you will, from I-35W south of Fort Worth, north of I-20, and then kind of that southwest of 287, that area right there near Forest Hill, that's where there's a little bit of strong wind. But, you know, outside of that, north of Fort Worth, Denton County, all the way up to Cook County, nothing exceeding 30 miles per hour showing up. South of Tarrant County and Johnson and Hill County, those thunderstorms have certainly come down in intensity. The winds maybe up to 40, but, you know, in Texas, that's a breezy day, Pete.
It is. A lot of lightning there on that UNT camera. Winds up to 36.
That's you know, looking at that there, that UNT camera, that line of thunderstorms just now sitting. Let me see if I can pull this up over here, or just now approaching UNT.
Okay.
And yeah, you're looking at velocity scans, which is why there's no warning there. You know, obviously that makes sense. There's no concern for damaging winds there, but the line as a whole, and this is what we were forecasting: is the farther east this goes, the weaker it's going to get, and that's why, you know, the threat for severe weather will be lower in Dallas. It will be lower even more in Rockwall and Kaufman counties, and then after that, it's just still some rain.
We do have some power outages, though, Jesse, in Tarrant County. As we put that power outage map up, we'll show you that, and you can see there's 6,710 customers. There's 421 outages right now. So over 6,700 homes impacted by the power outages, and it's right there. I mean, well, if I can walk into the chroma key. Nope, I can't. That's okay. But you see that line of that red, almost looks like right there where the heaviest rain is, because this has the precip turned on. I would suspect that's what that is. That's where we have the power outages. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Kind of interesting, though, you know, some of those power outages. Look south of Dallas, down just to the outside of Red Oak, Glen Heights, just off by Waxahachie. See that west of Waxahachie, 7. And then down by Seagoville, you have 2. Arlington, there's 3. Well away from the thunderstorm. So, I mean, who knows what's going on there, but certainly right there where that red and yellow is, that's right where the thunderstorms are right now. And you can see the power outages, 6,710 affected customers. That's not good, but, you know, there's out of 4,123,745 served. So 421 active outages right now. That's just in the Metroplex. As we go back to the radar, where they're sounding the sirens in southeast Fort Worth. I wonder why they're sounding the sirens in southeastern Fort Worth. Just had a note from Jerry Dalton with the city of Fort Worth. Fort Worth is about to sound southeast Fort Worth sirens. I don't know what's going on in southeast Fort Worth that hasn't been going on in southwest Fort Worth. Do you, Jesse, is there something I'm missing here?
They upped the warning to 65, and I didn't think Tarrant County sounded the sirens until 70.
70, that's what I thought too.
So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I did see they increased the warning to 65, and then they said they were going to sound the sirens.
Okay.
But.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that little, you know, I was saying earlier, there's this little pocket of some really strong
right
winds there.
There it is.
Just
right
north
there.
of Forest Hill.
Right here.
If we're going to get damage tonight, which we haven't had any yet, it's likely in that vicinity.
Yeah. So yeah, right here, here's Fort Worth. So there's to the southeast. So that's where they're sounding the sirens right now. Ramey Avenue, South Collard Street, Meadowbrook Drive, Old Mansfield Road, Will Barger, right here by Handley. Just here's 35W, so just off to the east of that. Etterville Road up to the northeast. Cook's Lane over here. Dalworthington Gardens a little farther off to the east. So it's easy. Jason, put that, let me see the path, if that's moving northeast or east. Can you animate that for me, please? Let's see. Kind of looks like it's moving north-northeast, doesn't it, Jesse?
It does.
Okay. Can you widen out just a little bit, Jason? We'll track this velocity data. That's a pretty good. Yeah, Fort Worth is just now activated the sirens in the southern portion. So sirens are ongoing right now in this part of Fort Worth. Now, of course, we all know how this works. Sirens are sounded in this area, but many other locations will hear them as well. And as we all know, they're no longer, and they haven't been tornado sirens in several decades. They're OWSs now, outdoor warning sirens. And they're sirens that are sounded for wind, hail, or even tornadoes, of course, and other types of civil emergencies. But there's the track of this, that little wind signature that we're watching right here. There it is. It'll arrive in Handley here in any moment now. Dalworthington Gardens, 9:13. Johnson's Station, 9:14. Arlington, 9:18. AT&T Stadium, 9:22. Six Flags, 9:23. Grand Prairie, 9:29. And Irving at 9:36. Back to Adriana de Alba. Adriana, where are you? Are you hearing sirens right now?
Hey Pete, yeah we are. So we are east, we're in East Fort Worth. We're on I-20 headed eastbound, just east of Forest Hill. And this is the area, I believe, that where you all are talking about the heavy wind. So we talked about 10-15 minutes ago. We were in the thick of it. I mean, you don't want to be out in the middle of this thing. I mean, the rainfall was so heavy, we couldn't see what was in front of us. It got really messy there for a second. And the other side of I-20 is a parking lot. I mean, what you're seeing now is a lot better, but further back, it was just a mess. I mean, we weren't seeing cars moving in the opposite direction. Everybody had their hazards on. So we're tailing this thing. We are headed towards the Arlington area, just behind this storm system. We were in the thick of it, and like you mentioned, east of Fort Worth, this is where you guys were hearing about those strong winds. And so we're keeping an eye out for some possible damage if that happens. But as you can see, we're hitting a spot here where cars are really slowing down. We hit a few spots with some ponding on the highway. And so really, really taking it slow because this is a lot of rain. It's happening really fast. And if you're in Arlington, this area, this is coming to you. Dalworthington Gardens, Arlington, Pantego, Mansfield, get ready. We were in the thick of it, like I said, and we are just now, we're at the end of it. So I don't know if you want to show this system in full screen, but we're just past Forest Hill, but just before Dalworthington Gardens. So we're at the edge of it, and conditions right now a lot better than the last time you talked with me, Pete.
Well, that's good news. It's interesting because the folks with the city of Fort Worth are now being questioned by the National Weather Service why they sounded the sirens. What was the decision or the reasoning behind that, and did they have reports of a tornado? So it'll be interesting to see what the answer is there, why those sirens were sounded. Certainly some strong winds, but the criteria we thought was 70 miles an hour, and it didn't reach the criteria. And of course, there's always the concern that when sirens are sounded or warnings are issued, there's such a thing that's been heavily researched, warning fatigue, that people hear or see or put under warnings too often, and when the warnings don't verify, people start to ignore the warnings, and then when they need to pay attention to the warnings, they just don't, they just ignore them, and then that's when problems happen. And I know, Jesse, you've read a lot of that research as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's the old tale of the boy who cried wolf. You know, when there's actually a problem, people start to ignore the warnings because oh, I've heard that before. You know, oh, the siren's sounding again. We don't need to pay attention because the last 100 times nothing happened. So that's why, you know, I think that's why the National Weather Service is asking that question. I think it's a very fair question to ask because there are strict guidelines and there's the criteria in place that emergency managers in different counties in North Texas have agreed upon, and you know, they try to stick to those guidelines because it is important, like you were saying, like the research shows, people start to tune it out after a while. You know, you start to say, well, I've heard that a million times. I don't think this is actually going to do anything. I don't really, and then the one time that it is a really serious warning or the siren is sounding for a very serious reason, they may not listen to it, and that's, nobody wants that.
Yeah. No,
it's really scary to think about.
Yeah, no, you're right. And then people get hurt and people get killed because they just ignore stuff. So there is a lot of questionable stuff right now on social media. You know, people sending out, you know, screenshots, claiming there's a tornado threat. And we haven't seen anything to this point that has warranted a tornado warning. Matter of fact, radar data is showing that these storms are weakening right now. And that's, you know, I tease and I joke around on television, not when we're in a serious situation, but when we're not. And I joke and say, you know, never trust anyone but me. And I would encourage you to, when you're getting your weather information, of course, the WFAA weather team, I just stand behind it. I believe it's the best in the country. And you can certainly trust WFAA and the WFAA weather team, but man, you've really got to be careful. There's so much junk out on social media now. I mean, Jesse, we see this junk all the time.
Yeah.
People posting hysterical nonsense, yes. And it's so frustrating because then we go on social, or we
Yep.
have to address it on TV to calm people's fears, and they were just unnecessarily elevated.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel very passionate about this, actually. I've dealt with a lot of folks in North Texas, and I know some of them are watching right now who have severe storm anxiety. And anxiety itself is a tricky beast, and a lot of times they go to worst case scenario. I'm going to find the information, or if I see the information that is worst case scenario, they're going to start to believe it. And I just wish a lot of people would understand that those people thrive on getting clicks and shares for engagement. That's how they try to make money or gain popularity. For us, we're just trying to inform you. And I tell the weather anxious crowd all the time, I will never not tell you if I think there is a threat of something. And you know, you're the same way. If I truly believe on all of our years of experience, oh, there is a real serious threat for A, B, and C, you're going to hear it from me. And a lot of times they'll say, well, I saw this source say, you know, numerous tornadoes and 90-mile-an-hour winds. And do you remember we saw that earlier in the spring, Pete, with they kept one-upping themselves. You know, I jokingly called those pages the weather weenies. They were kind of one-upping themselves. So you know, it started off with 70 and then 80 miles an hour. Then all of a sudden there were posts out there that were winds of 110 plus and DVD-sized hail. And that's the kind of stuff I try to tell people, listen, you have to ignore that kind of noise. Like, we will always tell you if there's ever a threat that there needs to be addressed. All that is hype to stir emotion, and it works. And it works on people, and I hate it, but it really does work on people.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is.
Just that people just get off on that kind of stuff.
Because it affects, you know, the thing that bothers me, Pete, is it really negatively affects a lot of people. I think people posting it think, well, I just know this gets a lot of attention and no harm, no foul. If it doesn't happen, great. That's what they're thinking. But the problem is it really severely impacts a lot of people's mental health.
No, it does.
It's great to be prepared. Do not mistake in me saying this for never think about the weather. Of course, I want you to think about severe weather and your safety plans, but there is a limit to where it becomes more problematic than it is helpful.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I completely agree. Adriana de Alba is out right now with Josh Stephen. They are eastbound, I think, on I-20. You can see all the lightning that's there in her area. We have a couple of other cameras that we can put up. We'll go back to the radar in just a moment. We will track that. This line of storm should be east of Dallas County and out of the Metroplex in about an hour or so, about 10:30-ish, give or take. Its forward speed is about 35 to 40 miles an hour, so it should be out of the Metroplex in about 10:30 or so. Right now it's at 9:21. Let's go back to Lo. Do you have some of those some cameras that you could put up for me? I know you had a TxDOT camera earlier. And one thing I'm seeing here, you see how they've got all the construction barriers there on the right and the left side? Let me talk to Adriana and Josh, because this is exactly the spots where we always see ponding of water on the roads, and man, we see accidents all the time because the water just ponds. They put those barriers up on the left and the right, and it almost acts as a dam keeping the water in. I'm sure there's some ponding, but it's not bad enough right now to create some problems, so that's good news. But can we talk to Adriana and Josh?
Hey, Pete,
Hey.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. And
Okay.
so I see that the barriers are up there on the left and the right side of the road, and that's typically where we have a lot of ponding because those barriers act as dams, keeping the water in oftentimes. Are you seeing any of that ponding?
We are. So we're hitting a lot of that ponding. As you can see, cars are trying to kind of navigate it, including us. This area is not great to drive through right now. And if you look up at the street lights, it kind of, I don't know if you could see it or how great our picture is, but it just kind of shows you, I'm seeing sheets of rainfall, just sheets of water. I mean, this is a heavy downpour. Can you see the side of our truck here? If you look at our tires, you'll see when we, just keep an eye on it, you'll see when we hit the ponding. It's pretty heavy right now, Pete. So we are on 820. We are headed eastbound toward I-30. We are going north on 820. We're about to hit I-30. We were talking a lot about those sirens that were going off, we know, in the Everman area and Forest Hill, because Everman Emergency Services did put out an alert. They were asking people to seek shelter indoors due to significant wind speeds, and they said that radar indicated a rotation. So they did activate those sirens. You mentioned that there will be some questions to ask Tarrant County Emergency Services about why those sirens were activated. We've not heard of any damage there just yet. But just further back on 820, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Sound isn't great right now. It's just this rain is so loud. We came to a spot where we saw crews pulling a big truck, a big SUV out of a ditch. It looked like some water had piled up. So where we are right now, there is some pretty significant ponding here, and these cars ahead of us, you can see they're taking it pretty slow. They've got their hazards on. That's what we like to see, but the wind is pretty strong in this area, and so we are now coming up on I-30, headed eastbound. We are headed towards Arlington on I-30, and that's where they're getting hit pretty hard right now, is Arlington. So we're just at the edge of this thing. We're tailing it. Further up, if you see the other side of I-30, a lot of headlights. Okay, this is do you see that? rough patch there. So this is what you'll see as you drive on these highways. Not that we want people out and about, but you're going to hit some rough spots, and that was one of them. The other side of the highway, it has slowed down. It's kind of coming to a stop. I'm having a hard time seeing it because we're kind of low, but we're in a spot now, I-30, heading into Arlington, where they're getting hit, they're getting pounded, and this is a rough spot. Visibility is great, but seeing a lot of feeling the ponding.
Feeling the ponding, yeah. Let's go to a Fort Worth camera. It is pouring in downtown Fort Worth right now. Very heavy rain in downtown Fort Worth as we transition over to that camera if we can. Or you guys can take that up in the control room. That might be the easiest thing to do. Yeah, we take that camera in Fort Worth. And really, why don't you just do this, Lo? Why don't you guys just go, as we look at the heavy rain that's falling here across the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Nothing severe up here in Denton County, but Dallas County now is under severe thunderstorm warning, along with this east side of Tarrant County until 10:15. So 10:15, Dallas and Tarrant County thunderstorm warnings are in effect. I expect these thunderstorms to be out of the Metroplex by about 10:30, so about an hour from now. They should be out of the Metroplex. Boy, Jesse, this is really bowing up here right now, isn't it? This one, boy, it has really increased its forward speed. I mean, my gosh, look how fast that thing is moving at this point.
Yeah, probably up to, now we're looking probably 40, 45 mile an hour motions. Earlier we had 30, 35, but it is starting to speed up.
That's great, because that will really, really limit the chance of flooding from these thunderstorms, other than the little bit that Adriana is describing there on the roads. But the ponding of listen, let's be honest. There's a big difference between flooding and ponding of water on the roads. I think we all know what flooding is, right? Ponding on the road is not flooding. It's problematic if you're out driving, but there's certainly a distinct difference between ponding and flooding. But man, this is really moving along very, very, very quickly. Dallas County, severe thunderstorm warning right now. I mean, it's not all of Dallas County, but darn near all of Dallas County. 10:15 tonight. Kind of interesting. Jesse, zoom out a little bit. I wonder why they didn't include the southeast corner of Dallas County. Any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, actually. So the winds, I can show velocity here and show.
Is it just weaker on that south side?
Yeah, the strongest burst of wind has consistently been kind of in the central portion of Tarrant County, now moving into central Dallas.
So pause that, Jesse, for me. You can see it, right? It's right here.
There we go.
It's right here. That's right here. That's the strongest portion. So this southern portion right here. Okay, so they're expecting it to weaken, possibly. I'm speculating.
It actually, oh, sorry, Pete, go ahead.
Yep, you can see it. They're expecting it to not be as intense down here in southeastern Dallas County as maybe up here by Mesquite.
Yeah, and if we actually look at this, these last few scans, I go back to 9 o'clock, you can see, so those brighter colors, if you're watching, and you're not a meteorologist, I know sometimes we get caught up in knowing everything over here, that we talk as if as if everybody else knows. But those brighter colors mean stronger winds. So you see north of Kennedale, that's where it was stronger at 9 p.m. And this is what I was watching behind the scenes when I was talking about those stronger gusts. Then you look here east of downtown. That's a good burst of wind. Then we get to 9. Now you see how it's getting a little bit more broad and a little bit less bright. That means it's weakening. All right, so there's 9:20. Still decent gusts there that we saw from Adriana.
Yep.
But now look, let's go to 9:30, 9:25. See, it's getting a little bit more broad and weak. So
maybe a little gusty winds right in there.
Yeah, right there along the edge. So hopefully it continues this trend, because there's no rotation. You see how it kind of arcs out there? Mm-hmm. Everybody watching, you see that arc right there? That's good. That push means that we don't need to really be thinking about spin-ups right now, just some gusty winds on the leading edge. So yeah, hopefully it continues to weaken as it moves into Dallas County. So far, it's looking okay.
Take a look up, let's go up to, put the reflectivity back on and go up to Denton County, Denton and Collin County. See what's happening up there. None of those are, well, that's pretty weak up there. I mean, pretty good thunderstorms. Let's go to that Denton Tower cam. Can we do that? Kind of I mean, that's certainly not a severe thunderstorm up in Denton, but The heaviest of the rain is right on top of that Denton Tower cam, so that's what it looks like there. And Jason, can you go back to, oh, there's a 47-mile-an-hour gust, so that's a great sign, but which is below the severe limits of 58. Go down to the cam 31. It's one of our Fair Park cameras. It's got a shot of Reunion Tower. No, not that one. The other one. That's cam 20. Yep, that's it. You can see Reunion. Pretty good rain right now here in downtown Dallas. Now go back to that Fair Park one, Jason, that other one, cam 20. I mean, everything's moving along here in Dallas. Kind of hang with that shot for just a second. It's kind of looking off to the northwest. See if we see any lightning with that shot. I've certainly been seeing a lot of lightning lately. We have another downtown, well, we have multiple downtown Dallas cameras. Moving that one around. There's Reunion. Can you put up, Jason, there's another downtown Dallas camera that we have. I don't know what number that is. I don't see the number on the, no, there's one there. This one right here. I don't know what that one is. I just saw a bunch of lightning on that camera just a moment ago. We'll have to label that one just so we have it. But is that a live camera? Boy, that one didn't even look like a... This camera is sponsored by Clay Cooley. Clay should like that. Getting a little extra plug here on WFAA Plus. 74 degrees right now. I guess that's our Clyde Warren Park camera. I was seeing a lot of lightning on that just a moment ago. So, and Cedar Hill is really lighting up. That's about the only thing you can see is the lightning down at Cedar Hill because it's so dark outside with that camera 600 some feet above the surface. Jennifer Pham has just now walked into the studio. Jennifer, do you have anything you need to tell me? Okay, that'll let us get ready for the old-fashioned TV. We are looking, and thank you, Jennifer, we are looking at these winds that are moving through Dallas County. Go to our Love Field camera, Jason. I want to talk about Love here for just a second. You know, we're looking at these strong winds just to the west of downtown, just to the west of Love Field. Though I do expect that those strong winds will reach Love Field here and the surrounding areas within the next 10 to 15 minutes. And near Buckingham and the surrounding areas closer to maybe 20, 25 minutes or so. But the wind speeds have gone down, Jesse. Yes. But they're still pretty strong. I don't know that they're severe, 58 or stronger, but they have certainly gone down at this point.
Yeah, I'm using a tool back here, kind of querying some of the velocity data near Grand Prairie, which is kind of in that leading edge of the thunderstorms in Dallas County. The highest wind speed I can find is 49.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. So that goes back to what we were saying. You know, when it was on the southeast side of Fort Worth, it certainly had a little pocket of some pretty strong winds, and now that's kind of fanning out and weakening a little bit, so that's good. It's good to see it.
Jason, can you show us some of the rainfall totals? I'd like to see some of the rainfall totals. What are we picking up? I don't know. Yeah, so hold here, Jason, for just a second. Go back to the reflectivity if we can. You know, we've still got a pretty decent wind signature right now moving through Dallas County. Jesse, it's what you were talking about right here, kind of that right there. Still got a pretty good, I wonder what's going on at DFW. Can you show me the winds out at DFW right now, Jason? Maybe that DFW wind map. Can we go back to that? I'd like to see what the winds are right now at DFW, if anything's been picked up, because, I mean, what do you think of that, Jesse?
What we
That's,
got?
I mean, you would sure think right now that that radar, the reflectivity shows that those winds at DFW are there. I mean, whatever's happening, and I guess 29's it.
I'm
I,
actually
I would have guessed it would have been higher than that.
yeah, I'm actually going to look at some of those little.
What did you say, Jesse? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm going to look up some other little weather stations in the area from
Okay.
people's.
We have one at Fort Worth of 38. Now, again, this is at Meacham. This Weatherford number's 48, but 29 right now, DFW. While Jesse's looking up those winds, let's go, Jason, to the, let's go to those rainfall totals. Let's put those rainfall totals. I'm just interested to see how much rain has fallen on the backside of these. So like up in Wise County, for example, Wise County, up in Cook County, boy, there was a lot of rain that fell there. And the storms were moving at a much slower pace when, man, look at that. Now, Jason, that's the last 3 hours? Man, that's a lot of rain. What's that, Jason? Yeah. Wow, right there in Wise by Bridgeport, over 6, 5.7 here. Down here in Parker, 3.6. A lot of rain. Again, the storms when they were in these locations, the forward speed was, I don't know, about 25 to 30, maybe 35. Right now we believe the forward speed's probably, well, it's at least 40, maybe 45 miles an hour. So it's moving along. So I would expect lower rainfall totals here than what we're seeing here. I'm still expecting an inch or two, without a doubt. But definitely some lower rainfall totals. Okay, we can go back to the reflectivity. And Jesse, have you found anything on those wind speeds there at DFW?
Yeah, not seeing anything other than what we're reporting. So no severe wind speeds there. The wind now is east at 9 miles per hour. So it's surprisingly calm.
That's kind of amazing. I mean, because that line of storms is right on top. Jason, zoom into DFW, the big airport. Well, it's right there, isn't it? Huh. Kind of there's the leading edge is through. So that's great. I mean, that's great. If those winds are only 29 miles an hour, that's fantastic. Let's go down to the south here, Jason, in Dallas County. Let's take a look at Love and see just how far away these winds are. And you can put your tool here and measure the wind speeds from the leading edge, Jason, over here to Love Field. Kind of zoom in a little bit more so we can see where Love Field is. Should be able to see the runways there. South of here, right? Nope, down here. I think it's down in that area there, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. That's not too far, a couple miles. 5 miles, maybe? I've got a built-in compass and a measuring device in my head. Jesse, I have a brother that can get lost going in a cul-de-sac. I think
It runs in the family.
Well, I think I got all the navigational tools in my head. I didn't get anything else, but I did get that. So yeah, Love Field over here to this leading edge, about 5 miles. So it'll be interesting in the next couple of moments when this next scan comes through to see what that wind gust is at Love Field. I'll step back out of the way here. But yeah, it's really, really good news to see these wind speeds start to drop. Jason, zoom out for me, please, if you don't mind. Let's kind of take a look at Dallas County. Let's put a track on it one more time, Jason, from the leading edge over to like Heath and Forney. I've been saying 10:30-ish by the time it exits the Metroplex. So let's just kind of get a latest update here. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning for Dallas, Tarrant County until 10:15. That's the east side of Tarrant County. So here we are, Dallas itself, that's downtown Dallas, 949. North Dallas is 957. Garland, Richardson, 1007, 1012 Garland, Seagoville, 1015, Rowlett. So Seagoville, of course, right here on the Forney, Forney, I should say right here on the Kaufman, Dallas County line. And then we have Rowlett, 1018. So there's Forney at 1022, McClendon Chisholm, 1031. So McClendon Chisholm, so certainly That's at 10:31. So yeah, I mean it's out of the Metroplex at 10:30. Rockwall 10:31, Fate 10:39, over in Terrell at 10:41. So moving into East Texas, it's moving into East Texas around 10:30 or later. So certainly that's some good news. National Weather Service is now telling us that they're lowering the wind speeds on some of these on these thunderstorms. So the wind signature on these, let's take that track off, Jason. The signature is still there, that we have some strong winds, but certainly the winds have decreased. I don't want you to take this too lightly, though. We still have a thunderstorm warning in effect until 10:15 for some very strong winds. So that's the way it looks at this point. Jesse, we're going to wrap this up here in just a moment. I've been talking for quite a while. I need to go get a drink and take a break, and get ready for the 10 o'clock news. Wow. Got our DBU camera there. Did it freeze up right at that lightning strike, Jason? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Have to get Dr. Adam Wright out here to climb up on the Pilgrim Chapel and fix this.
It's really interesting.
That's crazy, that shot, that lightning strike there at over the lake, Mountain Creek. Huh. I don't think have you guys ever seen that like that before?
No.
Usually
really
it knocks
cool.
the camera out and it goes black and we don't have anything. So, okay, let's go back to the radar. Then we're going to toss to, we're going to come to a conclusion here in just a moment. But here's the latest right now. We'll be back on WFAA on what the young people say is linear TV. What you and I might say, if you're old like me, might say the old-fashioned television set. We'll be on your television set at 10 o'clock. But as this line of storms continues to move off to the east, some strong winds, certainly some very heavy rain. My biggest concern right now, hey, Jesse, look at the lightning. Look how the lightning is decreasing. They're really starting to come down in intensity.
Especially if you look at that northern half of the thunderstorms, there we go, or storm strength. You go from those, if you look at the line itself, it's not as well defined. It's kind of becoming just this big mess that's spreading out. That's disorganization occurring. So that, when you have a really organized line that's maintaining itself, those are strong, intense thunderstorms. Now that they're kind of fanning out, they're losing their organization, they'll start to lose their intensity.
Yeah.
Right on schedule. We expected that in the Metroplex.
Yeah, this should be out of the Metroplex in about an hour, maybe a little less. Let's go back to the west, Jason. I just want to show folks, and look, it's dry right now in Mineral Wells. I mean, so this is it. This is, Jason, can you pause that for me? Once the rain arrives at your location, we got 1, 2, it's about 3 hours of rain. This is great. It's not 6 hours of rain or longer. So it's about 3 hours of rain. I don't see it being much more than 3, maybe 4, but we're certainly not looking at something that's going to, a system that's going to create rain and cause rain all night long, and that's certainly good news. So let's do this. It is at 9:43. We're going to conclude our continuous weather coverage. We will be on WFAA on linear TV at 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll get ready for that. We'll have a comprehensive coverage of the day's news, and of course we'll have the latest on your weekend forecast. Let's do this now. Let me throw up the 14-day forecast. If you folks have been with me for a long time, why should I make you wait for another 15 minutes? Let me just throw up this 14-day forecast. So the story tomorrow is it's a cloudy day. We might have a peak of sun around lunchtime, okay? I know we all have plans outside tomorrow. Maybe a leftover shower in the morning, but I think there's a big chunk of the day where we don't have any rain at all, okay? The high tomorrow is 76. Now around 3 o'clock until around 9 o'clock, we'll have another band of rain that will move in. It's not going to be like tonight, okay? It's just some rain showers that move in 3, 4 o'clock until around 7, 8, maybe 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And then after that, we're dry for the remainder of the night. Okay, and then Sunday's dry, clouds in the morning, but around lunchtime, the sun on Sunday comes out, we'll hit 77. Monday and Tuesday in the 70s, Wednesday and Thursday in the 60s. Friday next week is Halloween, 1 week from today. 70 degrees, and hey, good news for the kids. Temps for trick-or-treating in the 60s, 65, 68 degrees. And then the days that follow, that first weekend of November now, that's when we have our time change. Daylight saving time ends, standard time begins, and that weekend, man, just beautiful next weekend. 71 the high, 72 on Sunday. So 71 Saturday, 72 on Sunday. Then we're in the 70s Monday and Tuesday. We may touch 80 on Wednesday, November 5th. My wife's birthday, can't forget that. 77 on November 6th and 74 on November 7th. So other than the rain tonight and those rain showers tomorrow, as I detailed the timing on that, that's it from a rain perspective, because after tomorrow we have 13 days with no rain in the forecast. Make sure you keep it here on WFAA Plus always for the latest. Right now we'll send you back to our regular program, and we'll see you tonight on linear TV on WFAA Channel 8 at 10 o'clock. See you in about 15 minutes.